So look, this is one endpoint. Like if I go for this example, this endpoint URL, I'm going to hit here. So it's giving me some response. This is JSON response. Okay. So what is happening? This is one URL. Okay. Here, there is one. Let me cut this. Animals. So this endpoint URL, endpoint here, I'm telling this is one URL, and this URL has this specific keyword. If someone will access this, then response will come some names of animals. Okay, nice. I can copy the same URL and I can open REST, advanced REST client. What is this? You can install advanced REST client, Chrome. You can install this advanced REST client application, a Chrome extension you can install. Here I'm going to click launch app. Then you can see I have opened this one. मैं यहाँ पे put कर दूँ URL को. If I put the URL here, then I have option कि this URL is supporting get or post. So I'm going to call with get method, send. Means this is response. I have one specific URL where I am asking give me animals, then it's coming all list of animals. They also suggested this API specification space one send, then ID one name chicken, it's chicken food sage, whatever, click. Okay, means this API providers has given us a specification कि if you call like this, then I will give you a list of animals. If you pass those ID, maybe animals /2, then I will give you animal details for ID 2. You can see animal ID 2, name this. Okay. We need to call this API from our Apex class. We are going to learn how to call API from Apex class. Okay. So before going in coding, suggestion was you should check from the advanced REST tools or Postman. You have already heard about Postman. Postman is also where with help of Postman, you can check some API, you can check some endpoint URL. Okay, before going for this integration, I think this example, I want to set some context. Okay, context means why this integration really needed. Now think, we have two systems. One system is Salesforce. We are already in the Salesforce org here, right? Let me open this Salesforce org. So I was talking, suppose I am in the Salesforce org and think we have our Salesforce and client is also using some another system like maybe Java application, and in that Java application they have some on database, say Oracle or SQL, whatever. They are having some database in Java application, and what they want sync up of their data. Means suppose I am going to create lead in the Salesforce, or I am going to create some order record in Salesforce, then the same order should be sync up there. Means agar main, if I use some better example here, say some new visitors coming then your sales rep is going to create a new lead record in Salesforce. Just example here. Okay, as soon as a new lead record is created in Salesforce, they also want the same lead record to be created in their external system, means in the Java application, so that there someone who is using the Java application, they are also in the sync. Okay, some new lead record is created. Okay, similarly, let's think some different example. Maybe one company is using Salesforce for their employee. Company's employee is using Salesforce. All orders details are there, products details is there. Now, customers means end users are using some website built on the PHP or Java. They are going to do shopping from that website, and that website is built in the external system. They are running on the external application, other system outside of Salesforce. And when they place the order, when the order is placed, we want the order record should be created in Salesforce. They're placing order on the external system, on the Java application, but we want the order record should be created in Salesforce. Our product details should be updated. Means suppose I have 5 products, just on the high level, just think we have quantity 5 for any specific product. One is sold, then we want to update the inventory in the Salesforce. I hope you are able to realize this. Okay, we have multiple systems and we want our process are in sync. Then integration comes in the picture. Here we need to connect the both system, both platform, so that users will be able to access the data in the both application. I hope you are able to get the key message what I want to share here. Now visualize with this previous example. I am calling this endpoint URL, then I'm getting the list of animals. Means suppose there is a company who need the data of animals. Means someone who is a company who is having some data. I can say this is a demo URL. This is also given by Trailhead. In one of the Trailhead module, you can get this URL. But here, suppose I need access of animals from the external system. I will call this URL. I will get this. Similarly, assume one more use case here. I am in the Salesforce. I also have my Java application. Lots of lead record is there already. Today I'm going to create my I can go, I know I am working in the Salesforce org from today, and I need all those data in Salesforce. Now you can visualize, okay, someone from the Java development team will create URL like this. Once I will hit this URL, then they will give us list of records like this. And I will pass this JSON and I will create record in Salesforce. I hope you are able to get me. I'm talking a very basic level. I can say many of you are already getting why I am talking in that base level. Means just I am setting context ki we need to connect two systems. Then we have two options. Either call their API like this. I will hit the API. You will give me response. And this is not something specific to Salesforce only. This is open for any world. Maybe Java, PHP, you are going to work. Maybe you are working as a PHP developer. You are going to connect your system with your Java. Maybe you are working as a Java developer. You are going to connect the system with .NET. Same approach there. You are going to call some endpoint URL. You are going to receive response and you are going to store the data. Or that system is going to call you and you are accepting the request and you are giving the response. Means in the integration, both request response. I am here. If I am calling this URL, I am playing a role of client. So here you can see my browser is also playing a role of client. Just I am hitting this, and where somewhere you can see some code were written. आप जब इसको कॉल करोगे, when you will access this endpoint URL, then I will give you that response. Means someone is giving me service, and that is server, right? So the server is on this URL, I can say, linked with this domain, and currently I am playing a role of client. Similarly, in the Salesforce. If I need to access data from the Java system, then I am going to write piece of code. I am going to call the API of that Java application. Then I am writing code as a client. I am playing a role of client. My Salesforce org is client that time, and Java application is server. Now, code is written on the Java side. Code is written by the Java developer. Okay, and now I said forget the context. I was talking for Java system. Code is written on the Java. I was calling from Salesforce, means Java is server, Salesforce is client. Let's revert this. Code is written in the Salesforce, means I have created REST services or whatever, any services. I have written the API. I have given the endpoint URL. You call me on this specific URL. Just for example, I am giving you an example URL. You Java developer call my URL and I will give you response. Means we are playing role of server. Means here in the Salesforce we will create services and Java developer will call our URL. Means here I was able to explain you client and server. Client is always requesting, server is also always serving. Now, very simple example, google.com. Somehow the same concept, google.com. Here my browser is client. I am asking google.com, give me something. Google is giving me this response. Here I am typing something Om Prakash, Salesforce. Means I am asking to Google, hey Google, help me about Om Prakash Salesforce. So you can feel here, okay, google.com is server. This Om Prakash Salesforce is data, like some search keyword, and now their server is giving me this much response. You can see all profiles are here, right? My profile is coming here. It means they're giving us services. I was able to take this same concept in our API. We are calling some endpoint URL, we are passing. Now you can understand in much better way. Suppose we have this API. I'm going to this REST client tool. I am putting here, I am calling here. This is playing role of client. This REST client, नाम ही भी है इसका, advanced REST client. This is client calling this server. This response is coming. Okay. Any question in this, please ask. Then I will go for the next context. Anyone? I hope you are able to understand. If not, then कहीं time खराब कर रहे हैं हम आपका, right? So please ask if you are not able to understand the key message here. If you are already aware, then it's learning for you. Yeah.
Sir, how we will create this URL? Means we will get it from somewhere,
Yes,
or
exactly.
through the code we will
No
get it?
worry. Of course, we need to create that thing. We'll of course go for that very soon. But as of now, just keep it as a context message. Yes, someone is giving me. How? Of course, we'll learn about these things very shortly today itself. But now you are clear how the things is happening. Who is playing role of client? Who is playing role of server? Right?
Right, sir. Right. All the requests will be treated as a client, and response will be treated as a server.
Response is coming from server. Request is going from client side. Means here request is going, like here you can see one, means this is request. I am requesting to this endpoint URL, then response coming from that server. This is response. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Means
Yes.
I given one example here. Google server. I am asking from Google server, give me Om Prakash response from Om Prakash Salesforce, and they are giving us this. Getting thought? Okay. Now let's come on the question part. How to create this URL? You can see, okay, this is domain somewhere. Means somewhere our application is hosted outside of Salesforce. See, this is on the Heroku app. Okay. Means on the Heroku they have hosted this code. Similarly, a Java developer is going to develop some API, then they will host on the external system, like they will purchase the domain, they will deploy their code, and they will give you endpoint URL. For example, appycrown.com is the website of the company Appycrown. Now if I will develop some API, then I will deploy on our server repository. Then maybe the API can be API/get CEO name, and I will give, hey, if you will call this API, you will get the data. But as of now, there's nothing here. It's not coming. So now I hope you got the answer. Maybe get all services. So if someone will call this URL, then they will receive the services offered by this company API Crown. So how to create the API? Yeah, someone development team from this API Ground website team will develop API. They will host on their domain and they will give the API like this, maybe API or maybe API, whatever. Is this developer calls. Like if I access contact, developer has taken call, right? Okay, if you access contact, this will be accessed, right? Similarly, if you need to access, I need to define the root directory. I will put my code there. I hope you got the answer, Pooja, what I wanted to say here. Let's developer team call, how they are creating their API endpoint URL. For example, Twitter API. Suppose I have to integrate with Twitter API. See, Twitter has given their APIs. Hey, you can come and you can call my endpoint URLs. I will give you responses. So Twitter's development team was responsible for those APIs. See here. Twitter API endpoint. See, get status. So api.twitter.com.
Sir, for different functions, we will be using different API name.
Again, complete.
Sir, for different function, like you wanted the contact of your company, then you wrote company contact there.
You are right.
Likewise, for different services, we will use different API.
Yes, you can see here. See, this is user services. They are telling the user, if you have to search user, use this API. Users/search, and here, if you call this, then they are taking some query parameter. The search query maybe Om Prakash. See, there is example. HTTPS API Twitter user search q equal to maybe like this Om. Then all Om will come. Then authentication part. So yes, answer is yes. Suppose here they are looking for users followers IDs. I need the list of followers. How many followers I have? Then I can pass like this. Maybe HTTP followers IDs. Now for which parameters? User ID. Okay, I will call this endpoint URL and I will say, okay, for this user, I need followers. So yes, this is a specification given by Twitter. Similarly, Facebook Graph API. If you look for Facebook API, they have given their own API for different specifications. So anyway, you can explore that, right? It's asking me to log in, but that's fine. What we can do, we have to integrate with some API provider. Then first thing, we need to check how they are providing their API. Here I am able to understand with this. If I go for the first part, I was able to understand they are giving us somehow REST API. Maybe in the beginning they will explain you. Twitter is providing you the REST API. Okay, means here just we are going to use some endpoint URL, and with help of that we are able to access that. You can also see this is also REST API. So now I think little bit confusion what is different type of APIs. So for that, what I can do, I have now, yeah, please ask if any question.
सर हाय सत्या दी सर
ये सत्या
सर पहले तो छठ पूजा कैसे रहा आप
hey thank you yeah
okay sir overall what I got till now that API is overall to get the data from the server which is already there by hitting the API only.
Yeah, I can see yes. API
Okay.
API means like application programming interface, and here we are talking about the REST API, for example. Then
Okay.
with help of some endpoint URL like this, we can get the data from there, and not only data, we can have some process in the sense, maybe I am going to use this and I am going to put post, and here I am going to add some JSON response in the header, and I'm going to create some new record there. So record will be also created on that server. So it's all about what is the specification of that API. Means if you go here on the say Twitter one, let me go for the one example, manage account setting and profile, or follow. So you can see with help of create friendship, create, maybe this option will help allow user to follow the specified user. So this is not only for data, but this API is helping you from the endpoint API follow someone. Means when you call this endpoint URL, you can follow, maybe Om can follow Satya on the Twitter with help of this. Just think the use case. Okay, on the my website, on my Java application, there is option, hey, follow Om. And after click of that button, I am calling this API, and without going on the Twitter, I can say you are able to follow that friend. So
it should be make it by before, no? So
sorry,
it should be make it like this before by the developer team, so that I can.
yes, of course. That's why I'm talking. Yes, you're right. That's why I'm talking here. Here I am on this platform. I'm checking the Twitter documentation because Twitter has already given you API. So it's always someone had developed the API, they are giving the specification. What is their expectation? What is their expected request, and what is their outcome? What value they are going to give you?
Okay, sir.
So,
So like so how you showed to me that in API ground side that after creating an API like get the services like this. So I got it, like that the developer team made it like before.
Yeah.
But in every URL we cannot make this.
Sorry, can you please repeat? Every URL means?
Every URL means in every site, every server like this.
Every server means, you mean, yeah, let's go. I understand your question, but I want to.
So suppose take it a company name like X. So after going to their URL, like whenever I will put that get the services and the get the CEO name like this.
Yeah. So got you. So yeah, I got your answer. So for that, their developer team need to build that API. They need to publish that API first.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Make sense? Yes.
Yeah.
So here, the same thing I'm talking here. This was already published by this URL, right? On this URL, this animals was mentioned. So you are able to take this, right? Similarly, in the Salesforce, we can create our REST API and we can expose that. We can give that endpoint URL to the Java developer or other developer. You can access my services with help of this API. And why this integration and why this API concept comes? Because say, suppose I have one logic here, like I have one class, that class have one method, then that method is creating record of lead just on the high level. Now I need to call that method from Java system. Can I call that? I have one Apex class. You are already learning Apex class. So we have one Apex class. Even leave everything. Let me open our previous methods. Let me show you our previous class. I have already some class from the past, right? We have created this account trigger handler already. Or let me open some better class. I mean some meaningful here. Let me show you. Okay. Say this update description on lead is update. Means in this class, I have one method and I think not good example because this is trigger handler. Okay, leave that again. Good. This example is good. Say, get all leads. Okay. Now, let me modify this class. Get all leads, and here void list of lead, and this method will return the all lead. Okay, cool. Get all leads कर देते हैं. See, if I will call this data demo class dot get all leads method from my Apex class, can I get all lead record from this method? Yes, nothing new here, right? Agree or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Good. Now my question is, I have my Java application. In the Java application, I need all these lead records. Can I call the same method from my Java class? Yes or no?
Sir, can you repeat, sir?
Yeah, I told this is my Apex class. Okay. Now I will go. I will deploy this. Of course, suppose I have deployed this. No worry. I am going to another Apex class, hello world class. From here, I can type data demo dot get all leads, and here list of lead lst lead. I asked in the another Apex class in the Salesforce org, we can easily get all the lead record from this class. Sync hai everyone?
Right, sir.
Now I am
Right.
asking, this is Salesforce org, that's good. I am also using my Java application. I have some Java class. Can I call the same method from my Java class?
No, sir.
Anyone? Satya?
Like, sir, no, sir. Maybe.
No. No. Why?
Apex only, sir.
Why we can't call from Java?
Because different technology or
Exactly.
language, you can say.
Yes. Yes. Satya, what's your answer here?
So the syntax may be different in Apex and Java.
Yeah, not only syntax, it's both are different platform. Even Apex, I am writing on the Salesforce or
Yeah, both are
Java
different
code
platforms.
was deployed on the Java server, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Since there is no way we can get the method called from Java. Same thing, we can't call our Java method from here. Agree? I can't call my Java hello class dot get something. I can't call my Java method from Apex now. And same applicable for every language, any language. You can't call your Java code from PHP. You can't call your PHP code from Salesforce. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So what is the way how both system will communicate? So here it comes about from the concept of integration, and with help of those APIs, now we can call how. What I will do, see, I will make this, this method is here. I will create one service class. How? Nobody, just see, हमेशा मैं करता हूँ आप लोगों को, I always use the dialogue कि understanding the need is main thing, writing code is easy thing. If you understand what you need to do, you can Google it, you can do the coding. Agree ho? I hope everyone is agree with this statement. So
Yes, sir.
let's think. I'm telling I will create one service class, and in that service class I will call this method, and that service class is exposed as the REST API. Maybe here I'm talking REST API. No worry, what is REST SOAP I will discuss, but here I will expose as REST API, and I will give that API endpoint URL to Java developer. Hello Java developer, you can't access my Apex code, but yes, you can access my Apex code logic with help of this endpoint URL. You call this endpoint URL. This endpoint URL is following the standard of REST API, just for example, and that with help of that REST API, you are still able to access my logic written in the Apex code. and I have exposed my method as a services for the Java developer. Same thing, Java developer way means I need something as Apex developer. I need to access something from Java or PHP. Now those developers need to create the APIs and they need to expose means they need to host somewhere. Here, this is my API. You call that. So अब तक understanding हो गई होगी. Now you are able to think, okay, here why Java developer is developing API so that other developers from other platforms can use their code of Java. Logic of Java, not code word here, logic of Java. Why a Salesforce developer is building API so that other developer outside of Salesforce world can access my services. Why PHP developer is developing the API so that other platform can access their logic. And you can think, okay, here is the cut. If I have the method get leads already written in my Apex, then let's expose this for the external users so that they can call my API. So, as context clear hua? Why what we are talking here? Everyone,
Yes,
now you can
sir.
now
Yes,
you can
sir.
also relate. Now you can relate the same story. We don't know in which language Twitter API was written. We don't. We are. Oh, let me remove this. We don't know Facebook API, for example. I can't access the code of Facebook, right? Okay, why it's asking a login? But anyway. Okay, I can't access the Facebook code. Facebook's code is their own very big thing, right? You can't access their what is happening in the applications. But with help of their documentation, with help of their this API, we can access. Maybe WhatsApp Business API, they have given us API how to send a WhatsApp message from the Salesforce. You can call that, right? They're talking about the video API, live video API, and just I'm talking here this example from Facebook. It is applicable for maybe Amazon API, Amazon AWS API. I can access those APIs. I need some integration in my system, in my Salesforce org. On the page, let's list out the some option. If I click, if I connected twice with you, maybe I am sending twice message to you. I can have up, hey, you want to follow Om Prakash? Just visualize and you can connect with that API. Any question till now? I think I have answered your questions in some examples.
So this is the same case like we use payment gateway on some websites.
Exactly the same thing means, suppose on the API ground, suppose if I am selling some product and that time if I need to enable hey, click here, pay now. After pay, I need to integrate with any payment gateway. So yes, if I go for payment gateway like maybe pay, then they are already giving us various things. Like for example, payment gateway. So yes, there is some integration, but sometimes we don't always need to do coding because sometimes most commonly things was already owned by someone and they have given you some utility के drag drop करके आप payment करवा लो. Okay, so sometimes integration is happening internally. They are giving you some tools, but if you look on this API document, you can see okay how they are giving how payment gateway works and maybe some API there, refunds API there, and refund API. Suppose you have to enable refund API, then create normal refund. How to create refund? See, they're giving you specifications for that. Run in Postman. Yeah, please go ahead and see. They're giving you the endpoint. You please go mute if you're not speaking. Yeah, please be muted. If you're asking questions, please ask, right? Okay, good. So here you can see they have given us some refund API context and what is their expectation ID, how many amount, payment ID, original payment ID, and then they are, this is something request, then you can call the API, then like this URL curl, like this is something you can copy this, and if you generate your secret ID secret, then you can copy and directly you can run from your command as well. But Answer is yes. This is specification, right? The example is here. How to write the same code in PHP. See, PHP, you can copy the code. Java, how can we integrate from Java? They are given some Java library, some classes from there. Okay, Node.js, this example, right? So maybe you are learning LWC, you need to do integration from LWC. I think you can go ahead and you can plan something like this, right? From JS part. Any question here?
Sir, so they are not free, na? We have to buy. Suppose if we want
Of
to
course,
integrate,
see, yeah,
na?
that's
We have to
different
pay for
context
that.
here. That's different
Okay.
context here. Like again, what is free API, which is paid API? That's different context here. I will not talk about that. Means many API are freely available. For example, even if you're going to integrate this, I think I can say, yeah, they are giving you free access for sandbox and testing thing. But yes, for the real time payment, you need to take their subscription, right? You need to pay them. So that's not part of API. That's part of their services. What services you are going to use? For the example, Facebook APIs all are free. But suppose Facebook WhatsApp API. Now you are going to send WhatsApp, use WhatsApp business API. Maybe they have some different terms. But here we are talking about the context of what is integration. Why this URL? Why this URL? Because I don't know in the Heroku app server in which language they have written a method get animals. But they have given me this animals URL. Call this URL from your language, your program. I will give you the data. No, don't worry for my programming language, which programming language I am using. Just you follow the standard format. Okay, REST API will be call out like this. Call out this API, you'll get the response. Make sense?
ओके सर बट जितने यूपीआई एप्स है उसका भी सर यूपीआई एपीआई सर सेम होते हैं क्या? फेसबुक जिसे बता रहे हैं,
फिर से बोलिए।
सर जितने ऐसे ट्रांजेक्शन ऐप होते हैं, जैसे यूपीआई हो गया, तो उसके सर एपीआई सर सेम होता है ऐसे?
अब देखो, मैं इस पे हाँ या नहीं बोल सकता, क्योंकि आपका क्वेश्चन काफी जेनेरिक है। इफ आई से यू आर आस्किंग फॉर द एवरी API is same, means maybe you are using some payment gateway, and that payment gateway is connecting with UPI. So I can say yes, means UPI payment gateway. So maybe I'm going to utilize the Paytm payment gateway. Now Paytm will take care आगे का किससे पेमेंट लेना है उसको. तो you have to connect with the payment gateway. They will take care you are taking from the which UPI. Make sense?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, means what I want to say, you need to be responsible for the payment gateway. Like you are going to integrate with this Paytm payment gateway. Now Paytm payment gateway will take care for the other UPI, what UPI you are going to connect. You don't need to worry for every UPI, right? You need to worry for the payment gateway, which payment gateway you are enabling on your e-commerce website. Make sense?
Sir, can we say that, sir, API is static method or process?
Sorry, please repeat again.
Sir, can we say that API is static method or process?
No, I can't say static method here, but we can say the API is the way to access the process. Yes, we can say that. Or let's have better definition. What is API? And yeah, that's fine. API. See, application programming interface. The word application refers to any software with the distinct functions. Means yes, you are going to access some process with help of API. Even आप Salesforce में देखोगे, तो in Salesforce we also refer every object has one name that's called API name. So API is here exchangeable, like we are going to access something with help of API, some unique identity, right? So here, what is
Sir,
API?
स्टैटिक मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि आपने बोला कि अगर हमें कोई पर्टिकुलर डेटा को रिट्रीव करना है किसी सर्वर से, तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले एपीआई को क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, फिर देन उसको पब्लिश कर रहे हैं. तो जो डेटा हमें रिक्वायर्ड है उसी चीज को हम लोग वहाँ पे क्रिएट करेंगे एक्सेस करने के लिए. तो हम इसलिए बोल रहे हैं कि हम लोग उसको स्टैटिक बोल सकते हैं ना सर, क्योंकि वो डायनेमिकली नहीं हो रहा है.
नहीं, स्टैटिक नहीं बोल सकते, डायनेमिक ही हो रहा है. डायनेमिक इसलिए हो रहा है कि सपोज दिस एंड पॉइंट URL is my animals URL, right? Now here I can pass 2. Dynamically, I'm getting the value of 2, right? Maybe I can pass here, even let me mark get, send. From this URL, I'm getting this. And यहाँ पे मैं pass करूँ 2 dynamic value, dynamic parameters. I can get record for 2. If I pass 3. So they have created only one method. They are based on this parameter. They are giving us this value 3, right? 4, 5, whatever. So we can say कि static. अब किस sense में कि static कर रहे हो? Let's not introduce something. I can say कि static आपको बता रखा है in that programming context. So just simply understand. You need something from someone. Like you are a PHP developer, Salesforce developer needed something. You need to develop that API and you need to give them. And that will be API should serve dynamically. I hope I was able to answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. So till now, we have only discussed when API, what is API. Okay. Only common message till now we have able to deliver because two systems are running on the different programming language, we need to communicate, then we need API. Why we need API in integration? Let's look some definition from the Google. API enable interaction between data, application, and devices. It delivers data and facilitates connectivity between devices and programs. And now you can relate all our story of the day-to-day, everything applicable on this or not? Agree? Whatever today we've discussed, talking about the Java system, Salesforce system, other application, can we summarize the definition like this or not?
Yes, sir.
Everyone agree? See, an application programming interface is a messenger that processes requests and ensures seamless functions of enterprise systems. One enterprise system is Salesforce, one is Java. And because we are writing Apex coding, they are writing Java coding, how seamlessly both will connect? No way. But with help of API, we can connect. It enables interaction between data, application, and devices. Data, as someone told data, no, not only data, it's application as well. I can process something, follow button, I said something. Maybe I can have something, hey, I click remote on, my TV will start functioning in a different way. That's connecting the applications as well. Devices, with help of application API only, I can see, I can watch my TV on the, here I was talking to a smart TV. That smart TV is also working on the remote API, I can say. They are also carrying something, even leave everything. Currently, we are on the Zoom meeting. You can able to see me with help of API. Somehow here I am speaking something, it's going to you by API only. So it's again, API is connecting devices, applications, and it delivers data and facilitates connectivity between devices and programs. So I can say today example summarized way in the only आज हमने सीखा. सिंगे सबको इस पे?
Right, sir. Right.
Okay. Now, SOAP API and REST API. So they're different API. So what I can do for this thing, maybe in the tomorrow session, I remember I have a very good slide for the entire integration thing. Maybe I can talk a little bit from that context. What is REST API? What is SOAP API? When to go for REST? When to go for SOAP? Then in the Salesforce and connecting Salesforce with different systems, we have multiple way. Let's see, Salesforce integration types. You will see, oh my god, lots of, say here, salesforce.com. Yeah, this one. Which API do I use? See, and you will say, oh, this lots of ways. See, REST API. I was talking today only about this. This was example of REST API. I mean this one. REST example, REST API. I was talking, I will expose my services as an endpoint URL, that is REST API. Something SOAP API based on digital file. We'll have detailed session for this. Connect REST API, Apex REST API, Apex SOAP API. This lots of APIs. Okay, when to use what. So this is a very fast topic. We'll go in that direction. But as of now, today was only setting the context plus having the quick demo for this. How can we call the REST API from Salesforce? So I think I have not discussed this. No worry. Let me summarize very quickly here. I was able to check this URL from my REST client tool or maybe from the Postman. Now I can directly access this from my coding as well. So there is some HTTP classes, some HTTP request classes. With help of that, we can set endpoint, we can set method, and we can access, we can pass the JSON. But no worry, we'll discuss this in the upcoming session in much details. We'll also talk much more about integration. But as I mentioned, today we're only just setting the context. In the same context, let me revise what we have discussed. Our discussion point was having connection between two systems. Seamless integration between two systems means I am working in the Salesforce. If some button clicked, some process data is going to the Java application and some logic is running there. I was also talking one example. Someone is going to purchase something from my shopping website. After purchasing, inventory is going to update in the Salesforce, plus order is generated. Then some email is going to the customers from Salesforce. Email is going to the shipping team, their processing team, and they are going to process that. Okay, so these use cases will be covered in the integration. Plus nowadays you heard like seamless integration plus connected experience. Every customer wants connected experience. Even you are purchasing something on Amazon or Paytm or any website, Flipkart, right? You all want you get notification on time. Even nowadays, if you are purchasing, your expectation is in the 24 hours, my delivery should be there, right? Maybe you are doing Amazon Prime services there. So the expectation is like that. You are every time checking notifications and you don't want to wait till the process. But behind the scene, you can think how they are highly connected. Means you purchased, you clicked purchase button, submit, payment done. Starting from that, okay, payment done means your payment gateway is interacting with the service provider. I mean, that shopping site, right? Now payment is successfully, then bank is sending confirmation message to the payment gateway is sending confirmation message to the seller is sending the confirmation message to their partners who is going to shipping team is going to connect with the courier team, right? They're connecting with inventory, then they're connecting with you. So you can visualize, oh, lots of systems are there. Maybe inventory team is using different system. My website is built in a different system. Seller company is using Salesforce for their internal. Maybe lots of different stuff. Maybe my detailer is using different system, and how all those are connected with help of APIs. I think I've given a very good example now. Makes sense, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. So now from tomorrow, what we can do in the Salesforce specific, we'll cover some small use cases. We'll try to connect with some external system, and we'll learn more about API. In the same context, trigger logic will be there. We'll also explore some batch classes and some use cases basis. Like I am trying to make this session for use cases because few of you also asked me ki, what about real-time use cases? Because like I can say for learning integration, lots of good topics are available in the Go YouTube. You can learn from there. So just instead of going for the same thing, let's having some use case basis. Yeah, you were telling something. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. So Apex testing is also needed, no? After trigger, we have to learn Apex testing.
Yeah, Apex testing is very much needed. Not after a trigger, I can say. Even after learning basic Apex class, we should have learned Apex testing. So yes, I will take that session after that, like in a parallel mode. Because see, I don't have any agenda, like what topic we're going to cover. I don't have any planning and preparation for this topic. Like sometimes what happen if you're delivering training, then you have some schedule, I need to go for this. But what I'm doing, like I saw a few of you, 3 or 4 on the early, I visualize, okay, you all are already familiar with trigger logic, you're already familiar with Apex trigger, you are familiar with this. So a topic I should check. So I randomly taken the Apex integration topic. Okay, but I can go with like that way or as per you, because I hope you are able to understand this session is not something
Yes.
targeted for someone, a specific audience. It's only for you primarily. Then we are also uploading the recording session on demand, right? So
NWC and Visual Force and deployment is under the advanced Salesforce, right?
Not advanced Salesforce, I can say basic Salesforce itself. Okay, see, what happened? Like if you talk about Salesforce, then what you are going to build? Anything, either you are building a small application or large application, we need three things: database, UI, programming language. I mean, your application. In terms of admin, what we do? We go for the
You have to make an application first.
yes, that's UI part you are going to cover. Object you needed, and you need a logic. So for logic, you are able to write in the flow, or maybe the writing validation rule, process builder, whatever. Same in the development, you need database. You are learning object. You need coding. You are learning Apex. You need UI. For UI, you need the Lightning Web components. So why I should say it's advanced? It's basic. First thing I need to learn LWC, how to create a page. Any my thought?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So LWC, maybe someone telling LWC advanced because earlier we had Visual Force page. Like when I started my Salesforce career, that time only Visual Force page was in the market for the UI. Then Aura component came, then Lightning Web component came in the last 10 years. Lots of changes happened. Nowadays, popular thing is LWC, but we are thinking from that perspective. Okay, Visual Force page was basic, LWC advanced. No, today everyone is learning LWC from first day. So I can expect if you are having 1 year, 1 month of experience in Salesforce, you should be very good in the LWC. Make sense? So LWC is not advanced, it's basic.
Yeah.
But in the LWC, lots of advanced topic there.
Sir, so do it compulsory to learn Visual Force also for creating the because
Not
LWC
not compulsory, but we should have some knowledge of that, because some client might have existing Visual Force page and maybe they are looking for some extended features based on that. So maybe you have to migrate, or maybe you have to change something in their existing Visual Force page. But as a suggestion is, go and start with the LWC, and parallelly you can look for those in some basic concept later.
right.
Okay. Anyone
So
have
may I ask another question, sir? One more question.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually, sir, can you give me an example? Like a client came to our company to make a business application like the the admin part and the developer part, and what is the work they are going to do? The admin part as well and the developer part.
Not getting. Can you please come back again with question?
Sir, actually, can you give me an example? Like a client came to our company
Mm-hmm.
that they have to make an application by us by Apex Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the admin team also and the developer team also. And the what type of work the admin team has to do, and the developer part, what type of work they have to do.
Okay, got it. So say the client is coming to you, they are not saying, okay, I need a developer, I need admin. They are coming with a requirement, they are coming with a business problem. They are coming with, hey, I have this specific problem. Means suppose I shared the use case today. Okay, I have my Java website, my shopping, my team is going to shop there. They are going to buy some product from there. Then I need automation, like the records should be created in the Salesforce. Okay, now here you will start planning and you will visualize, okay, my development team will do this, my admin team will do this. And what admin team will do? Maybe creating a custom object, like maybe creating a validation rule, maybe creating some flow logic, like something non-coding. Okay, but here admin, maybe something, if you talk about admin role in the industry, then it's more about the Salesforce users role, I can say. As a Salesforce admin, they're playing role of Salesforce users, means they are using report dashboard, they are creating lots of data preparation, I can say. They are preparing some final review sheet for their management team. But here in this context, I'm talking admin developer, means someone who is not doing coding, they are admin. Someone who is doing coding, they are developer. So if any requirement coming in the requirement, I can say, okay, without coding, I can achieve that integration. Maybe from the flow, I can call the outbound message. Then they will do the flow part. And this is something long learning journey. That's why I think if someone has some mindset, learning these things is very easy, we can start my career easily. No, I strongly say no. These things needed some time. It's needed your investment of your efforts, having some proper time plan for learning these things, because in the 1 month, in the 6 months, you can't take a call, okay, what will be happen from the Apex, what will be happen from admin. It will take some time, but at the beginner level, you are able to think, okay, I can develop these things with existing features in the Salesforce, like flow. Validation rule, I can validate something. I don't need to write trigger. With the data security, I can hide some record. I don't need to enforce some logic there. So I hope I have taken much a longer answer for this, but context wise, when problems come to you from the client end, then your technical team sit on that. Your architect team will decide, okay, I will go with this path. Then after creating the architecture, your project management team decide, okay, this assignment is going to the development team, this is going to the non-development team, I mean admin team, and they're going to add their value as teamwork. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Like if I say, I have to capture a student record, by suppose one school is coming to you and they're telling you, hey, I need to capture my all student record. As soon as a student record is created, I need to send some email, hey, your admission is happened. As soon as they receive the email, they have option to click opt out. No, I don't need your email for the future. Yes, I need email for the future. Then think, okay, this requirement means I need to create a student record. Okay, now admin will come and they will say, you know, you can use the contact record of Salesforce, a contact object of Salesforce. Let me rename the contact as a student. They can do that. Now, sending email, hey, I don't need to coding. Admin team maybe they can create one automation that will go without coding. Okay, now click and click. Okay, someone need to modify the template. Okay, I need help of developer team. Developer team, please come and modify those. Development team come there. So it's again depends on all requirement to requirement, all use cases to use cases. When development team will come, when architect will come, when project management will come, when testing team will come. Right?